Have you ever spent hours, maybe even days, just staring at someone else's legacy codebase, trying to understand it before making even a tiny one-line change? It's easily one of the most frustrating parts of being a developer. But what if you had an AI pair programmer that didn't just sit in a browser window answering questions, but actually lived inside your terminal, directly connected to your local files? Imagine an AI that can understand your entire project, explain unfamiliar code, and even write production-ready features. Welcome to this ultimate explainer on mastering Claude Code. Today, we're going to take you from initial setup all the way to advanced token optimization and enterprise workflows. We'll look at how to build reusable skills, manage context, and actually use this in real-world scenarios. Stick with us to the very end because we're also going to cover the exact interview questions you need to know to prove your expertise with these new AI tools. Let's get started.
To truly master Claude Code, we first need to define what it actually is, and that means understanding a concept called agentic coding. So what exactly is it, and why do we need it? Think about a standard passive chatbot. It just sits there, answers your specific prompt, and waits. It's like having a junior developer who only does exactly what you say and nothing more. An agentic environment, on the other hand, is active. It acts more like a senior engineer. Claude Code can autonomously read your files, execute bash commands, make direct edits, and work through complex debugging problems right inside your terminal. You give it an objective, like build a new REST API endpoint, and it figures out the steps, reads the necessary files, and executes the commands to get it done. It's an active participant in your workflow, not just a passive dictionary.
Here is our roadmap to get you production ready today. We'll start with the agent decoding loop, move into project memory and context, look at connecting tools with MCP, and building reusable custom skills. Then we'll tackle optimizing token consumption, and finally, ace the technical interview.
Section 1. The Agentic Coding Loop. Let's dive into the core workflow engine. A massive common mistake developers make is letting AI jump straight into writing code. That is a guaranteed recipe for solving the wrong problem. Instead, we use a strict four-phase loop. Phase 1 is Explore, where Claude actively reads your files and maps out dependencies. Phase 2 is Plan, where it creates a concrete strategy based on what it found. Phase 3 is Implement, where the actual coding finally happens. And Phase 4 is Commit, where it saves the work and can even open a pull request for you. Why do we need this structure? Because planning before writing is absolutely critical. In an enterprise environment, if your AI starts rewriting core files without a plan, you're going to waste massive amounts of tokens and introduce bugs. This loop ensures the AI stays on track.
So how do you actually enforce this planning phase in practice? Here is a brilliant production pro tip. You can toggle plan mode simply by pressing Shift plus Tab in your terminal. This explicitly separates the reading phase from the writing phase. When you are in plan mode, Claude maps out exactly what needs to be done step by step without touching a single file in your system. It's like a dry run. You get to review the plan, adjust it, and say, yep, that looks good, and only then do you let Claude execute. This one shortcut is going to save you so many headaches when refactoring large code bases.
Section 2. Project Memory and Context. Let's look at how Claude actually remembers your project over time.
As a senior engineer, you need to understand architecture, and for Claude Code, that revolves around two vital markdown files. Think of claude.md as your project's static onboarding manual. You write this file. It holds your team's specific coding styles, test commands, and architectural rules. Now contrast that with memory.md. This file is totally dynamic. It is essentially Claude's private notebook of lessons learned. As you interact with Claude, correct its mistakes, or as it discovers weird quirks in your legacy codebase, it writes these down in memory.md. So the next time you start a session, it automatically remembers those constraints. It's incredibly powerful for maintaining context across long-running enterprise projects. Now listen carefully, because understanding where these config files live is absolutely vital for security. You never, ever want to leak API keys or company secrets to GitHub. We have three scopes here. If a configuration is local or user-scoped, it stays entirely on your local machine, safely tucked away in a hidden .claude.json file. But if it's project-scoped, it gets saved in your project root as a .mcp.json file, which means it can be committed to Git and shared with your team. Knowing exactly which scope you're in ensures your environment configurations stay safe while still allowing for team collaboration.
Section 3. Connecting tools with MCP. This is where things get really exciting.
To push Claude Code to the next level, you need to understand the Model Context Protocol, or MCP. What is it? It's an open standard created by Anthropic that acts as a secure bridge.
Instead of developers constantly writing hard-coded API integrations for every new tool, MCP allows Claude Code to connect directly to external data sources via dedicated servers. Why is this a game changer? Let's say you're in e-commerce or retail. You can literally ask Claude from your terminal to go check a specific Jira ticket, query your production Postgres database for an order status, or even read Figma designs. You are giving your AI hands and eyes that extend completely outside your local workspace, making it a true DevOps assistant.
Section 4. Building reusable custom skills. Let's talk about the DRY principle for AI.
If you find yourself pasting the same prompt or instructions over and over again, like how to write a specific type of unit test, you need to build a custom skill. It's super straightforward. First, you create a directory inside .claude/skills. Next, you write a tiny bit of YAML front matter to tell Claude exactly when this skill applies. Then you just write your standard markdown instructions, and you can even include supporting reference files. To use it, you just type / and the skill name. What is absolutely brilliant about this is progressive disclosure. Claude only loads the heavy text of your custom skill into its context window when you actually invoke it. This keeps your base memory incredibly light and saves a ton of money on your token budget.
Section 5. Optimizing your token consumption. Let's talk about saving money and keeping the AI fast.
Remember that plan mode we talked about in the workflow loop? Well, it turns out that using a structured, phased approach where Claude creates a plan before it writes a single line of code results in consuming 14% fewer tokens. Why? It's simple. Misunderstandings caught in the planning phase cost almost nothing to fix. You just tweak the plan. But if Claude runs wild and writes hundreds of lines of completely wrong code across 5 different files, you basically have to scrap the whole session, clear the context, and start over. That is incredibly expensive. Plan first, save tokens.
Now check out this staggering benchmark. You can achieve a massive 91.9% context reduction simply by stripping your claud.md file of information the AI can already infer itself. This is a huge best practice. Don't write exhaustive file-by-file descriptions in there, and definitely don't waste space telling it to write clean code or use best practices. These foundation models already know that. Keep your claud strict, incredibly short, and focused solely on the unique quirks and architectural rules that Claude absolutely cannot guess about your specific project.
Let's rapidly break down 4 actionable best practices to keep your context window honest. Number 1, always disconnect unused MCP servers at the start of your session. Every active tool is a constant context tax. Number 2, use the /compact command to summarize your conversation. It compresses the history without losing your vital setup data, whereas /clear just wipes everything out. Number 3, ruthlessly keep your claud.md file under 200 lines. And number 4, prune your memory directory regularly. You don't want Claude dragging around outdated, heavy lessons from an architecture you abandoned 3 months ago. Clean house regularly.
Section 6. Ace the technical interview. Let's make sure you can prove this knowledge in the real world.
Let's synthesize everything we've learned today into some direct interview prep. We'll start with a classic junior-level question sourced from the SFEIR Institute. Imagine you're sitting in the interview, and they ask, what is the difference between Claude Code and Claude's web interface? It sounds super simple, right? But the interviewer is specifically testing your fundamental understanding of the tool's execution environment. Here's your model answer. You want to clearly state that Claude Code is an autonomous CLI agent. Point out that it has direct local file system access, native Git integration, and the ability to autonomously execute bash commands. Now here is the interview tip, the trap you absolutely must avoid. Do not describe Claude Code as just a chatbot for the terminal. Calling it a chatbot implies it's passive. You need to emphasize that it is an active, working environment that can modify state on your local machine.
Let's step it up to a mid-level question. The interviewer asks, how do you configure permissions for a team project using Claude Code? This question is digging into your awareness of operational guardrails, team integration, and, crucially, DevOps security.
Your answer needs to immediately reference the .claude/settings.json file. Explain that there are 3 specific permission modes: default, auto-accept, and bypass permissions. You want to emphasize that the default mode offers the absolute best balance of security and productivity for teams because it actually requires human confirmation for potentially destructive actions. Let me give you a massive red flag. If you tell an interviewer that you casually run bypass permissions on a shared team production environment, they are going to fail you on the spot. Security always comes first.
At the senior level, interviewers are looking for broad architectural awareness. If you were asked to compare these AI tools based on a 30-day real-world enterprise comparison, here is how you frame it. Note that Claude Code absolutely excels at complex back-end reasoning, deep debugging, and terminal-based agentic workflows. GitHub Copilot, on the other hand, remains totally unmatched for that frictionless inline autocomplete experience when you are speeding through mechanical, boilerplate tasks that you already know how to do. Show the interviewer that you understand these tools are complementary. They are not strictly replacements for one another. Use the right tool for the job.
I want to share a profound quote from the developer community that perfectly sums up modern AI engineering. The model matters less than the harness around it. It's the orchestration and verification layer that decides whether the output is shippable. Your prompt engineering skills, your strict CloudMD files, your custom skills, your MCP servers, that is the harness. A great model with a terrible harness will just write bad code faster.
We've covered a lot today. You've seen that tool orchestration and proper context management consistently beat raw model power. Now that you deeply understand the agentic coding loop, how to enforce plan mode, token optimization strategies, and how to build reusable skills, the power is entirely in your hands. So I'll leave you with this final thought. Which AI assistant will you orchestrate for your very next production deployment? Take what you've learned in this explainer, apply it directly to your codebase, and start building smarter today. Thanks for watching, and happy coding.